It is great. It is great that Democrats have a line of people who are willing to fight for working class Americans from coast to coast in this country. Because God forbid that we have a member of the Republican caucus who stands up and actually wants to extend the Affordable Care Act so that people with cancer, insulin, and issues across all sorts of healthcare issues across this country have their health insurance protected and extended throughout 2026. It is unconscionable that what we are debating right now is legislation that will give 8 members of the United States Senate over $1 million apiece. And we are robbing people of their food assistance and of their health care to pay for it. How is this even on the floor?
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 1 minute.
And still I rise, Mr. Speaker. I rise to call to my colleagues' attention that they are no longer claiming that this is a clean CR. The truth is that it is a dirty, filthy, stealthy CR that has been contaminated with millions of dollars for people who have not earned it, but rather who want to take it from the taxpayers of this country because they have concluded somehow that they have been harmed when no harm has been proven or brought to our attention. I believe that health care for all is important because we in the Congress have the best health care in the world. Yet people with the best health care in the world do not see fit for persons who need it, who are among the least, the last, and the lost, to acquire health care, something that they have. Health care is becoming wealth care for too many people in this country. We need to extend the subsidies. We need to make sure that everybody who can get to a doctor gets care. This is not a poor country. I refuse to take a poison pill and have you tell me that I'll regurgitate it next week. The poison pill.
Gentleman's time has expired. Gentlelady from Minnesota reserves. Gentleman from Massachusetts.
I inquire how many more speakers the gentlelady has, because she doesn't seem to have very many.
I believe we have one more, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. All right. We have several. Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Ocasio-Cortez.
Gentlelady from New York is recognized for 1 minute.
It is great. It is great that Democrats have a line of people who are willing to fight for working class Americans from coast to coast in this country. Because God forbid that we have a member of the Republican caucus who stands up and actually wants to extend the Affordable Care Act so that people with cancer, insulin, and issues across all sorts of healthcare issues across this country have their health insurance protected and extended throughout 2026. It is unconscionable that what we are debating right now is legislation that will give 8 members of the United States Senate over $1 million apiece. And we are robbing people of their food assistance and of their health care to pay for it. How is this even on the floor? How can we as members of Congress, Republican or Democrat, vote to enrich ourselves by stealing from the American people? That is what this legislation does. In fact, Senator Graham just went before the press earlier today saying he was going to seek well over $1 million from the American people from this. We cannot support it, and we cannot stand for it. Thank you.
Gentlelady's time has expired. Gentlelady from Minnesota.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I just wanted to point out to some of my colleagues that, you know, the Democrat government shutdown stopped the SNAP benefit. So if they were very concerned about those, about making sure that people had their nutritional assistance, they wouldn't have shut down the government, because that is what caused it. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentleman from Texas.
Gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It was great to hear from the new leader of the Democrat Party, Mrs. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Unfortunately, we didn't also get to hear from their other leader, Mr. Zoran Mamdani. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to be proud this evening to vote to reopen the federal government.
House will be in order.
Mr. Speaker, for 40 days, the Democrats shut our government down. to pursue unrealistic policy proposals that they know the American people do not want. Mr. Speaker, the American people do not want health care for illegal aliens. They do not want our tax dollars funding left-wing media outlets, and they do not want to drive up our debt $1.5 trillion as part of a short-term continuing resolution. Mr. Speaker, the last 40 days have been nothing but pure political nihilism, and I'm glad that this nightmare is over so that we can get back to work on behalf of the American people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back.
Gentleman from Massachusetts. Gentleman from Massachusetts.
I reserve.
Gentleman reserves his time. Gentlelady from Minnesota.
Reserve.
Reserves. Who seeks time?
Well, Mr. Speaker, let me first of all just say to the gentlelady, this is Republican shutdown. It didn't need to happen. All you need to do is extend the ACA tax credit so that people wouldn't get screwed on their health insurance bills. But I also point out to her that the President of the United States illegally withheld SNAP benefits. And two federal judges, basically two court orders, backed us up on that. And he's the first president ever in history to actually shut off food benefits to people during a shutdown. Shame on him. I now yield 1 minute to the gentleman from California, Mr. Khanna.
Gentleman from California is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, our country is at a moral crossroads. Just today, it comes out that billionaires are worth $8 trillion, more than 50% of Americans combined. And what does the president do? He decides he doesn't have the money for the American people. He's going to starve the American people to give $40 billion to the corrupt libertarian leader in Argentina. $9 billion would have fed the American people. How is that America first? And then he says, I don't care about the cab driver who's paying $2,600 now per month in health insurance as opposed to $44 because I don't want to save the 20 million Americans who are going to face high premium increases. How is that America first? We need national health insurance in this country. We need to tax billionaires in this country. We need to fund SNAP in this country, and we need to stop funding Argentina and corrupt foreign leaders.
Gentlelady from Minnesota.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I just wanted to address for just a second the health care issue that the Democrats continue to bring up and act like this had anything to do with everyone in the country's premiums, because we are talking about the COVID-era Affordable Care Act's COVID-era subsidies. So this is not what is affecting other people's premiums, other than those folks that qualify for those COVID-era premium subsidies. That's it. They continue to make it sound like this is responsible for every kind of increase that people are seeing. And so the Affordable Care Act's original subsidies will remain in place. So that's the original subsidies, ensuring that millions still qualify for the income-based tax credits and capping out-of-pocket costs relative to income. It's the COVID era. I can't say that enough. It is the COVID era subsidies that are in question here. Premium increases are actually driven by multiple factors, including medical inflation, provider consolidation, and rising drug costs. But to actually reduce premiums, that's what we must address. And we must have comprehensive discussions about that, not just political theater and sound bites. We have to actually sit down and have those discussions, and that's what getting the government back open will do. I reserve.
Gentlelady reserves her time. Gentleman from Massachusetts.
Mr. Speaker, the ACA polls at 65%. Donald Trump is at 37%. I now yield 1 minute to the gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Ms. Presley.
Gentlelady from Massachusetts is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today on behalf of every elder who can't afford their prescription, every parent who went to work hungry so their child could eat. In the United States of America, there is no lack of resource, only a deficit of empathy, political will, and courage. At its best, government is a backstop, a compassionate steward of the public good. At its best, government catches people when they stumble in a moment of hardship. At its best, government does right by the people, all the people. Struggle does not discriminate, Mr. Speaker. Hardship is not a character flaw and has zero to do with work ethic. Every single person is one diagnosis, one layoff away from hardship. Life can change at an instant. What we are bearing witness to is not only a lack of political courage, but it is a fundamental betrayal of the people. Incompetence and indifference to the suffering of our constituents and our neighbors. The shame and the sham of it all. Any member of Congress who would vote to deny a child a meal or medication, it is child abuse and neglect. I ought to file a 51A on you for that. Every person in this chamber, every person in our country has lost a loved one to cancer, and yet you would vote to deny people life-saving cancer treatment and research. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House, and with the majority, you have chosen to enact harm to make people hungrier, poorer, sicker, and less safe. The shame and the shame of it all. You, the people, deserve better. We, the people, deserve better, and I won't stop fighting until you get it.